Good morning, everyone. Sorry about the lateness. You're watching the Solid Sports video blog. Troy West here. Episode 287. Today's date is April 1st, 2025. Thank you for joining me today. Sorry about the lateness. I always, 9:30 is always my target time, but I wait till my brother gets himself together and leave and stuff like that. So that dragged the time, and then me dragging to get up and get to the show. But glad I'm here. That I'm really on. I'm not. I don't want to say a time restriction, but I got something I usually do in the morning as well. So I'll be trying to get the show in between. So that's that was your issue today. But we're gonna take our time like we always do. Thanks so much for being here. Uh, big show today. Major League Baseball, of course, have started day season. We'll take a look at the early standings and news with that. NBA update. Playoffs are just 2 weeks away. We'll look into the standings there. Teams that have clinched, teams that have been eliminated from playoff contention. Little NFL news, mostly Aaron Rodgers, but other NFL news, little news for the NFL. And the men's and the women's finals fours are set. We'll preview that as well. And believe it or not, this is the 8 year anniversary of my blog, of my Solid Sports video blog. I started it April 1st, 2017. My first show was previewing the MLB season. It was around baseball was about to start. I think it was a little bit before they started the Tokyo series or the international series that they do a week or so before the main season starts. So I don't think the season had fully started yet. Rough video. I think I started doing. I think my first couple of videos was on my phone. Then most of my videos was recorded through my PlayStation 4 at the time. I had the PlayStation camera, so I started recording through that. Um, and then now I'm back to my phone again. But thanks so much for y'all support. Shout out to Caper. Last week was a great show. I liked that show last week. I had a good time doing that show live. So thank you, Caper, for coming through with that. I usually have a hat on, but I was like, nah, I'm gonna leave the hat off today. Show my fresh cut, show my bald head. So um, thank you guys for being here. Uh, yeah, 8 years. I'll talk more about it in the end of the show. But yeah, it's been 8 years. I've been off and on. That's why, because really, if I'd have never stopped doing it or never had any breaks in between, probably would be at like I would say at least 500-600 episodes by now. Probably double what we doing now. Um, but I appreciate you guys for hanging in there, being there. I got loyal supporters. So I thank you guys. And I'll talk about some of those guys from the beginning and to now. Thank you guys so much for the support. I really appreciate it. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and get into the MLB. Um, of course, some teams off to high start, some teams struggling out the gate. Um, uh, my Braves, I'm just gonna go ahead and talk about my Atlanta Braves. They 0-5. Dodgers beat them last night. Two tough series. You got Tampa and the Dodgers supposed to be two top teams in the NL, but the Braves are supposed to be, but they off to a slow start. Um, but speaking of the Dodgers, they 6-0. The Padres are 5-0. The only two undefeated teams are left, and Milwaukee off to a slow start, but the Yankees did to them in that series. Then they lost last night to Kansas City big, so the pitching has been really bad for Milwaukee. Um, but other than that, it's too early to really break down the standings. But Yankees, they 3-0 started was against Milwaukee, so we'll see what they do today. Because I'm sure they played the day they was off yesterday, so I'm sure they play today. Um, Let me pull that up. Yeah, there you got Arizona at home, so that should be a little bit more of a challenge, hopefully, for the Yankees. Um, Rays off to a 3-1 start. Um, Orioles 3-2. Angels and Cardinals they meet. They 3-1. They meet today. Giants off to a 3-1 start. So, but the hottest teams has been the Padres, the Yankees, and the Dodgers. Um, Not surprising. So, um, like I said, as the season go on, we'll get deeper into it. But too early. But what the Yankees did, Sarah was a Saturday against the Milwaukee Brewers, 9 home runs, which was they franchise record. But I think the record I heard is the Blue Jays. They hit 10 in a game one time, and that is the major league record. So baseball off to a booming start. Also, a little side note with the Yankees is these torpedo bats um, that the Brewers and other teams are saying, well, maybe they should be banned. So that's something just to keep an eye on. I know they're gonna dig deep into that. These torpedo bats, whatever the brand is. Um, so, but see now, is the Royals using a torpedo bat or whatever? Because the Royals put 11 on Milwaukee as well. So, uh, I guess I think Milwaukee just off to a slow start. They just got to get it together. Also, other side news, another Atlanta Braves. Let me make sure I get his name right. But 80 game ban. Let's see. I just want to get his name right. I know his last name. Yeah, Jackson Profile. Yeah. 80 game ban. They say chronic Rotrapan, a performance enhancing drug. So, um, yeah, so he out 80 games. That's basically half the season. So, big blow to my Braves again. So I just hope. Um, like I said, I was talking to my brother about this last night. Even back when during the steroid era, it just don't bother me that much. I mean, you shouldn't cheat. If it's against the rules, it's against the rules. I understand it, but I don't look differently about the players that did it. Baseball allowed it. They wanted it to happen. They get the game, more popular with the home runs and stuff like that. Um, that's why I'm really interested to see how this torpedo bat thing will go down because people that's using it is off to fast starts. So is they going to ban the bats? So that's just something, like I said, to keep an eye on throughout the season. Because it's not just the Yankees, it's other players. The Cruz from Cincinnati, he had a monster game last night with that bat. So it's crazy, man. Yeah. So yeah, man. So that's the baseball news. That's it with baseball. We can move on to the NBA, but yeah, they the two biggest storylines: the Profar suspension and these torpedo bats. What baseball gonna do about that? Um, or is anything gonna be done about it? Or is everybody just gonna use the bat? so um, so we'll definitely see how those two stories break down. All right, let me pull up the NBA standings. Not a lot of off the court news other than the big brawl between the Pistons and the Timberwolves the other day. Uh, I like the brawls. It just happens. I mean, it happens in the NBA every once in a while. Um, the NBA ain't gonna handle it. So, um, but let's look at the standings. As the playoffs, like I said, are close. Teams have positioned themselves. Lakers big win last night against the Rockets. Those two teams, Houston, um, trying to get the 2 seed. Um, let's see. What other big scores? Boston winning again. Thunder destroyed the Chicago Bulls. Shout out to my man Caper, but I know he ain't happy about that. Um, Mavericks. Oh, they lost to the Nets. I thought they beat. I know they was winning that game. Um, but yeah, they the notable games from last night. But the standings, Cleveland, Boston, and the Yankees. I mean, the Knicks. Thinking about baseball, clinched playoff spots in the East. Um, so the East is pretty much set. Speaking of Brooklyn, they are eliminated. Philly is officially eliminated now. Charlotte and Washington, they're out. Not even available for the play-in. Toronto still got an outside chance, but the Bulls should hold on. Miami's ninth, Orlando's eighth, Atlanta seventh. I think that's going to be your play-in four teams. Maybe it might flip 27 and 10, but I think they get four play-in teams in the East. And the top six, Milwaukee at six, Detroit at five, Indiana at four. I think those two teams can move up and down. I think the Knicks, Boston, and Cleveland definitely be a top three. Um, can Cleveland hold on to that one spot? They have been sliding a little bit. Um, can Boston catch them? I guess that's the only question for the top. I think New York is just solidified. They probably make it. They'd be in that third spot. Um, so it's going to be depend on matchups. Like I said, it's going to depend on the matchups. Miami's going to be dangerous again as a low seed if they make it to the first round. Um, I like the way the Bulls are playing, but I think the Bulls are playing with a little bit of confidence. So I think if they're able to get in, um, they can maybe be a little bit of a hindrance. But the thing is, you're going to play Cleveland or Boston, and I don't see nobody. Not even Miami. I think Miami can push them further, just because it's how they play the experience. But I just don't think. Um, I think Cleveland and Boston's on another planet. So they should be fine. They definitely should be getting to the East semis. Um, it's going to depend on who New York match up with. Will it be Milwaukee? Will it be Detroit? I think Detroit. Definitely Detroit or Milwaukee. Well, Indiana as well. So the Knicks, they're going to have a tough first round series, and possibly could get knocked out. It would shock me. Um, so whoever New York gets, that's going to be interested in the other two teams left over. That'll still be a great series if it's Indiana, Detroit, which would be right now. Will it be Milwaukee, Indiana? Um, Indiana knocked them out the first round, I think, last year. But the Pistons, like I said, I know they just had the brawl, but they're a good young team, up and coming team. So it's the Eastern playoffs going to be very, very interesting. West, of course, OKC is one. They clinched it already. Way ahead, almost 15 games ahead of Houston, who's in second. Denver's third. Lakers are fourth. Memphis is fifth. Golden State is sixth. That's the top six right now. But Minnesota's right there. Got the same amount of wins. Clippers got the same amount of wins as Golden State. So any of those teams can move up to six. So that six spot's going to be very important. Dallas has gotten back to 9. Sacramento is 10. And then Phoenix is on the outside looking in. Not officially eliminated yet, but pretty much on life support. Portland Trail Blazers and the San Antonio Spurs. Spurs are done, definitely. Blazers been playing quietly, playing very, very well this season, despite the circumstances. Everybody out in the West, well, I go say everybody, it's just two other teams they eliminated. New Orleans and Utah are officially eliminated. The West, same thing. It's going to depend on matchups. A lot of people still doubting OKC. I'm not doubting them, but I just think um, if they get a bad matchup, it's going to be tough for them, despite their regular season record, which is amazing as well because they've had injuries and things throughout the year. But SGA has been unbelievable. Probably going to win MVP this season. Houston Rockets, like I said, has been a surprise to me as far as how high they are. 50 wins. I didn't expect 50 wins from them this year, but they're going to get 50 wins. Denver Nuggets are always dangerous. Got championship pedigree. Lakers are dangerous with Luka and LeBron. I like the Grizzlies as well. I think they just, like I said, they're not afraid of anybody. Warriors are dangerous because now they got Jimmy Butler. So this be Minnesota can't count them out either. Clippers, if Kawhi is really healthy, they be dangerous in the playoffs. Dallas will be a little dangerous. I think without Kyrie though now, they lose a little bit of muster. Kings got a good basketball team, but nobody expect anything from them. Of course, the Suns, um, if they make it, because of how Durant is, maybe if he could play, because see the thing is he had to probably play 40 minutes a night for them to have a shot, but the rest of Phoenix is just too inconsistent. Um, and the Blaze, I don't think the Blazers are going to make it, but like I said, I like the way they're going. I think they'd probably be at least a play-in team next year. In the West, the Spurs will be back with De'Aaron, and hopefully, um, uh, Wimby will be back without the blood clot. Speaking of that, when I mentioned Milwaukee, I forgot news with Damian Lillard also dealing with blood clot issues. So it's kind of make me wonder: is it some type of basketball thing? You know what I mean? Because you really only hear it in basketball. So that's just that they just think that's well, sadly interesting because uh Milwaukee, I think without Dame, I think they now is hindered. Um, but yeah, the West is going to be crazy. Well, both conferences. It's going to depend on the matchups. Home court matters as well, but it's going to depend on the matchups where everybody falls. Um, so that's where I stand with that. Um, so by next week, we'll really be probably a little bit clearer. Um, and speaking of Phoenix, Durant is out for a week, so I think that's going to hinder them from trying to make the run to be in the play-in. Um, Yeah, New Orleans also a disappointing team this year. Zion, CJ McCollum done for the rest of the season. I think it's smart. Um, so uh, yeah. So I mean, it's going to be interesting to see where these teams fall um, the next coming weeks. I think I don't believe teams try to avoid other teams. I don't think that's. I mean, I believe that they maybe. I'm not saying that they don't, but I think for the most part they don't. So we're going to see the next 2 weeks what the matchups are. Then you get a clear picture of who might go far, who might lose in the first round, et cetera, et cetera. Um, so that's the NBA. That's the NBA. So we got the NBA out the way. We'll see. I did see your comment, but I don't know which. If you asked me, do I play Call of Duty, or you know, I don't know what you mean. By the way, I know you probably gone now because there's nobody here, but I didn't understand what you meant by that, so that's why I just didn't want to lose my train of thought and stop. But yes, I play Call of Duty if that's what you're asking. Um, my PSN is in my bio here on YouTube. I don't mind accepting free requests. I don't like nobody. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like nobody like pandering me to play. Don't pander because I got things. I do YouTube as well. So sometimes I'll be working on that, or sometimes I just be wanting to play. Peacefully. So I don't mind accepting free requests, but just don't. They'll still be badgering me to play a game because I got other stuff I gotta do. So that's all. With that. But it is my PS. It is in my bio. So hopefully I answered your question or your comment. But I appreciate you stopping by. Uh, all right, let's go. NFL, there ain't really much to talk about the NFL. It's kind of quiet down. NFL free agent, they don't waste no time. Like they sign their players, well, NBA too now, but they don't waste no time. The only domino is waiting to fall is Aaron Rodgers. I talked a little bit about him last week. Like I said, I really think he's trying to avoid training camp. I think he's going to take his time and try to avoid training camp. Steelers is pretty much now the only option. The Vikings said they're out. The Jets made the decision with Justin Fields, and they got rid of Rodgers. Um, a sleeper to me might be Tennessee because they had some comments talking about if you could get a franchise quarterback is priceless. I think the coach said that. Even though ain't I want to say Aaron is a franchise quarterback anymore, not just because of how it's played, but his age. So he only gonna get maybe a year or two out of him anyway. So that's not a franchise quarterback. But that's the only other team I think that needs a quarterback. I guess if you want to say that, maybe even though New Orleans, um, maybe New Orleans, because Derek Carr, I think they did sign back Derek Carr. Um, but everywhere else, they pretty much decided on they veteran or who they want um, at the quarterback room. So Pittsburgh is the only team that's logical. So I think, like I said, I think maybe after OTAs at the earliest, but I wouldn't be surprised if he signed like right before training camp. You know, so I wouldn't be surprised by that he's waiting because he don't want to do the OTAs and all that. He want to probably enjoy his off season, blah blah blah. So I think that's what's going on with Aaron Rodgers. Um, Other NFL news, of course, the draft is coming. Uh, so um, to talk a bit about Shador and Cam from Miami, which one of those quarterbacks going to go first? All that stuff will be talked about. We'll talk about that later on as it get closer. Um, Browns owner came out and said, well, Haslam, was he the GM? Or is he the? Oh no, yeah, because oh yeah, he is the owner. Yeah. Because my brother was like, yeah, I saw that they Cleveland might trade for Dak Prescott and all this. I was like, you gotta wait till it hit the mainstream. Like, people on Facebook and even on here on YouTube is gonna try to be the first. I actually saw it yesterday on YouTube. Somebody was live talking about it. Um, it wouldn't shock me if Cleveland do it, but they should have learned from this trade, from the Deshaun Watson trade. Um, I think that would be more steady. I think he would be okay there, Cleveland, if they do it. But I don't see it, Dallas. Um, because now they don't. I mean, let's just say it happens. If that happens, then that open up maybe you would think Aaron Rodgers would go to Dallas. That'd be crazy. But I've just been doing what everybody else do, been predicting. But if that happens, I think Rodgers might rather go to Dallas than Pittsburgh, because Pittsburgh is more, label. I think Dallas sort of lets you be who you are. Pittsburgh, you're gonna have to get in line, so to speak. So I think Dallas would be a better fit for Aaron. If that happens, if that happens, they have to get rid of Prescott, of course. That had to really happen. And Cleveland is the only, um, viable option there. Um, so, and I don't think Aaron would go to Cleveland. I don't know. I mean, that's another team. Maybe he could just go straight to him himself and go, see if they want to bring a veteran in. They got talent on both sides of the ball. So, um, but the North is just a tough division. The East is now too, because you got Philadelphia and Washington now. Um, so really, Aaron Rodgers is the big domino that's waiting to fall. The draft is coming. We're gonna see what teams are looking for through that as well. We'll get deeper into the draft as they get closer. The draft is the end of April, so we got time um, for that. All right, so that's the NFL. Yeah, we flying through the day. We flying through the show today. Let's talk about the Final Four. Let's talk about both. Let's talk about the women's first, because the women, I ain't been giving the women a lot of love as far as talking about it. But basically, it's almost like the men. USC did fall to UConn last night. So the other three ones made it. So it is, whoa. Let's look at last night. So yeah, Texas did beat TCU. And UConn defeated USC. Of course, USC losing Juju Watkins. That was just sad news. I think she was about to be in this draft that's coming, so she's gonna miss her rookie season, but somebody's going to draft her. Team, like, she might not go to the top. She probably was going to be the top pick. She might not be the top pick now, but she's going to get drafted. Probably, definitely top 10, like easy. Um, so now your final four is uh UConn. They play UCLA. UCLA had been a dominant team all year long. I think they only lost to USC. I think they only lost was to USC. I think they beaten everybody else. And South Carolina, of course, been here before. Don Staley, great coach. Gio Amira for UConn. I don't know who UCLA coach or Texas coach is, but they're the two top coaches for sure. South Carolina played Texas April 4th, which is, I think, Friday night, I believe. So, um, yeah, so that's your women's bracket. Of course, the men, all the number ones made it. Only happened one other time, 2008. Of course, that great championship game with Memphis and Kansas. It was Memphis, Kansas, I think Duke, and North Carolina, or North Carolina and so I can't remember. I just was talking about it yesterday. But that was that year. Derrick Rose and Mario Chalmers went at it. Mario Chalmers hit the big three to send it to overtime. Then Kansas was able to pull it out in overtime and win that championship. But it was all number ones there. We got all number ones this year. The Houston Cougars. The Houston Cougars, what conference are they in? They play Duke, and then you got Auburn and Florida, of course, both SEC teams. Of course, Duke is ACC. Is Houston in the Big 12? I don't, like I said, all these changes, I don't, some of the teams moved up. Let's see. Let me, January, that'll be good. Yeah, so they're in the Big 12 because they play the Big 12 teams. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they are in the Big 12. So they're a Big 12 team. So they get Duke. Duke to me, like I said, I watched a little bit of the games. They look like the best team all around, just deep. I like Florida as well. And I'm a Florida fan, just a Florida institution fan. I watched. I was in the '90s. I used to love Steve Spurrier and those Gators football teams. Um, yeah, so I'm into that. I'm into Florida, and I like the way they looked overall. Auburn, the last game, I only seen them in the last game, but they looked a little shaky. I think Michigan State, if they had made a few more plays, they could have beat them. So I'm looking at Florida, Duke final, and then I'd be honest, I think Duke will beat Florida, but it wouldn't surprise me if Florida does it. But I think Duke definitely is the best team left out of these four. Cooper Flag, I think he's a little bit overhyped, but he could play. He's not, the hype is warranted, but I think the NBA is gonna bring him down to earth a little bit once he gets to the NBA. But I think he has the talent to definitely play. So we'll see. But I like Duke to win it all. But I'm rooting for Florida, to be honest. I'm rooting for Florida as a fan. But I think Duke is gonna cut the nets down next Monday night. So but a great Final Four, even though everybody says, "Oh, it's boring, whatever." There's no upsets, whatever. I mean, I'm a fan. Like, yeah, I like the upsets too. I ain't gonna lie, I do too. But I want to see good basketball. I don't want to see no sloppy basketball. I want to see the best teams win. Period. In any sport, in any way. I don't want no doubt. Say, well, if this would, I don't like the the what ifs and all that. I want to be like, all right, this team was the best team. They won. That's what I want to see. I want to see a good game. Same with the NFL. Like I said, Super Bowl this year, I didn't like how Philadelphia destroyed Kansas City like that. I wanted to see a closer game. Um, not necessarily wanted Kansas City to win, but I just wanted them to play better, make it a game, make me sit on the edge of my seat. That's what I like with sports most of the time. And upsets, because upsets is good too. It's a good feeling. So, But I think Duke will be your national champion. On the women's side, like I said, I don't follow as much, but I just think South Carolina, out of the teams that's left, just give me that championship feel. Um, I think UCLA is going to be a problem as well. But I think they're going to have a tough time with UConn. UConn, they've been 30 years, might as well say, has been on the top of the women's basketball. So um, I like UConn. I think it's going to be UConn and South Carolina, and I think South Carolina will win it all. That's my prediction on the women's side. Um, all right, so that's my show for today. We got through it quick, 30 minutes, 30 minutes flat. Um, let's see. Yeah. Let me. The USFL started. Let me see if they got that on. I'm sure they have that on here. Now, I just like football. I'm sorry. I just like football. Um, so week one is done. Who's the? Yeah. So, Battlehawks they destroyed the Roughnecks 31-6. Renegades all over the Brahmas 33-9. Panthers beat the Showboats 26-12, and the Defenders over the Stallions 18-11. So it was 2, 4, 6, 18. So it's still 8 teams. Okay, I know they condensed it because when they merged, I think they merged some of the teams together. Eliminated some of their teams. So it's the XFL conference, and then it's the USFL conference, and then they merged, and then you got the UFL. So um, I didn't watch the games last week. I ain't gonna lie, but I'm gonna try to keep up with that. Um, yeah. Like I was saying at the beginning of the show, yes, it's really my 8th year anniversary of this show, of this blog I've been doing. Um, like I said, you would think it would be more episodes. It's only 287, but like I said, life happens. I started in 2017, April 1st, 2017 was my first show. It was a baseball show. I broke it down into 2 parts. I recorded on my phone. Then I was like, well, I have a PlayStation camera because I got it for. Honestly, I don't even remember why I bought the camera. Cause I didn't buy it for the app. It's an app on the PlayStation 4 called the Playroom, if you're familiar. And I didn't get it for that because I wasn't playing that. Even though that's something funny. Like I wish maybe my nieces when they was younger, maybe they could have played. They used to come and visit me, um, and I had other kids living in my house at one time, um, my apartment, and I didn't buy it for that. I know I didn't buy it specifically for my YouTube channel either. But anyway, I was like, well, I could use the Playroom app, record myself so I can show my face, and PlayStation basically you get an hour, and then you can edit it around. Cause I don't have like all the fancy editing stuff. I don't have, so um, so I use all my editing was through my PlayStation. Um, yeah, I started doing it on that for a while. Then, like I said, I had to move October 2017, so I took a break. I don't think I started recording again to like the summer 2018 once I got settled into my sister's assisted living place I was working at. And then that, of course, it was off and on because my internet, I have the internet really. I have my own internet. And then the brother that I stay with now, he wound up moving in, and he got internet, so I was using his. So I was back off for a while. Um, then things happened at the place. I had to work a lot, so I was doing my shows at night. It was just crazy. So that was another stoppage there. Then I moved to New Jersey. Um, did a few out there. Things happened out there too, and I stopped for a couple of weeks and then came back. So I've been off and on for the last 8 years, basically what I'm saying. But I'm glad I started this because it gives me an outlet. This is really like a therapy for me. I love talking about sports. I love doing the video game playthrough. That's what I started doing that because I started. I started YouTube through. Shout out to my old supervisor, B More Slinky. He's on YouTube, but he's a Madden player. They had these leagues, these online leagues, very competitive, by the way, very serious leagues. So I got into one of his leagues, and the requirement was for you to record your game. Whoever you played that week or that for that game, you had to record it. So the commissioners, because they had commissioners and all that, was watching the game, make sure you ain't cheating. They had certain rules. You could run the same play 2, 3 times. They call that cheese and all this other crazy rules, which made it unfun, by the way, sometimes. But it was a challenge. I like doing it. So I was like, well, I got a YouTube channel. Let me just. So I started doing No Man's Sky, which is if you look up that game, I'm thinking about re-downloading that and getting back into it, even if I had to start from scratch again. Um, uh, I started recording, doing lives. I started doing live videos on that, and just was talking about sports while I'm flying around space and all that. And I really started to enjoy it. So I kept it going. Like I said, the breaks in between has been rough, but these last 8 years, it's been rough for me. Period. Even outside, behind the scenes. So that's why I thank everybody. Like back into that time, um, and I still see him every once in a while. My man, Retro Ryan Gaming. He was one of my first supporters. He was coming around. Pet Nut, when the I did Crash, that elevated the channel. Like I had two spikes. It was the Crash Bandicoot um, trilogy. When I was playing that, I would play that live to get the gems. He was a big supporter. He made a channel. Um, he was a big supporter of mine. Um, and both of them is from over the water. Most of my fans, subscribers are from the England area or overseas area. So, of course, right now, of course, my buddy, I call him B, but he's from Hungary, overseas. Um, and then my other YouTube, Janae Jaguar. I don't think she do much YouTube anymore. She was one of my early supporters. She was up and coming, but she blew up basically. Um, she's beautiful, by the way. I would still recommend you just check out. Um, right now, the Hope I'm saying her name right. She's cool. She's from California. She do like mostly music reviews. Um, a lot of the hologram. She's a supporter of mine. She does video game playthroughs, video lives. She play Fallout. Um, Serpentine 10. There's so many people, man. Like my man Caper, like I said last week, he's from Chicago. He's been a loyal supporter of mine. Let me think of some more people. It's been a lot of people um that's been supportive. And the ones I'm not naming, that's why I'm glad now they show you your subscribers. So what I'm gonna start doing, I was doing it on Tuesday, so I might do it later on. I'm gonna write down my subscribers' names, and I'm gonna just shout y'all out because y'all, I really appreciate y'all. Yeah, I want to have more. I'm only at 324. I was at 325. I went back down to 324. And thanks to the Roo for that because I was at like 312 for a while, and then she shot me out and came through. I came through to her page. I had the time to come through. She was playing these weird, scary games. She's very interested. Like she's a good watch. Like I said, she's very interested. Um, and I came through. I donated. And she looked out for me. So I appreciate that. She had to do that regardless. I appreciate that. So I got a few subscribers through her. So just thank you guys, man. Thank everybody who support me and the patience throughout these 8 years. But I don't plan on going nowhere this time. I'm gonna make it work. Like I said, I'm gonna try to do a video a week, a game, a live a week with the sports, and then you'll see my video game playthroughs pump out like water. Today, I'm gonna try to do a dead loop video today. I'm gonna try to do a Silent Hill 2 video today. Um, I'm gonna try to do something with Tekken now that the new season started. But next week I'm gonna try to I'm gonna have to get the pass so I can get Anna Williams, because I definitely want to get Anna Williams. So she's gonna be featured probably next week. So look out for that. Um, uh, yeah, man, it's a lot. Like I said, I told you this year was gonna be big, so we're gonna do it big. And I appreciate you guys for hanging in there with me throughout everything. Um, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up. Happy 8 year anniversary to myself in this blog. Thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you guys so much. Um, and just continue to hang in there. It's going to get better. The more you I get, the better it can get. I appreciate you guys, man. If you really enjoy this show or you watching the playback, definitely subscribe, comment. I respond to pretty much all my comments. So definitely comment. Give me your honest opinions. I'm not, I'm a grown man. I can take it. I had people tell me, some negative things, and it's fine. As long as it's, within, as long as you ain't disrespectful. Um, just like somebody told me one time, turn, I forget to mute my mic, it's certain things, I make mistakes. Yeah, point those out, and that's how I become a better um, YouTuber for you guys. So thank you guys so much, man. I could go on and on and on, but I gotta get something done. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Troy West. 8 years in. Hopefully we have 8 years more. Appreciate you guys. Peace and love. Y'all have a great week. I'm gonna get on next week. I don't know what my schedule is yet. But I will do a show next week. Somehow, some way, we'll do a show next week. I'll give you, as the week go on, I know, and I definitely post it on my community wall. Check out my community wall. I need to get better at that as well. Putting stuff on there. I'll be trying to put at least something once a day, but you know, time just get away from me, and But thank you guys, man. I'm out. Um, appreciate you guys so much. Enjoy the sports. Like Final Four addiction, like I said, Duke in the men's. I think South Carolina will win it for the women. And I'm out of here. Peace and love always. See you guys next week.